some judges, they wouldn't change their mind, just black and white when they came back to them. Once they dug their heels in, they're done. So I'm telling you that from time to time it's prudent to reconsider, even if you made a decision or think you've reached the right decision. One of you mentioned home incarceration earlier, and someone mentioned to me today a number of the average population of people in Grant County. Well, I don't know what number of average people out in this jail out here. All I know is what I saw come through the courts over the years. And the numbers I had presented to me as far as the average population of Grant County prisoners doesn't comport with what I saw walking on that bench for 29 years and how many people we had on my dockets. They don't match up. So that would be a concern, to make sure we nail that down to an absolute certainty. And the other thing is, I can't speak for the judges involving home incarceration specifically, and they didn't give me authority, but I'll tell you this. There was a House bill passed, I think it's 463, Mr. Taylor, 2 years ago.
Yes.
And it said we had to let everybody go. Legislature said we don't want anybody in jail unless they've been convicted, which that
Yes.
caused a lot of concern. At that time, we had to revisit our valuation of people when they came in and setting bonds. And so all I can tell you was, during the time I was there, and the judges I was working with, a couple of them were still there, we didn't keep anybody out there. We were aware that the counties, whether it's Grand Ole or Carroll, were paying money to have people there if we kept them unnecessarily. And the ones we could let out, keep the community safe, they're out. So I don't know if those have factored into your thinking, but if there's a thought about, someone mentioned that passing about home incarceration, I wouldn't hang my hat on anybody else getting out,
We
except
were
those who
looking
have.
at we're trying to look at every option.
Yeah,
Here,
but-
I mean, it's,
But you take people with dangerous propensities, those who have committed
Right.
burglaries multiple times,
Sure.
and I've dealt with all these people, they've been my customers
Yes.
for a long time. The only ones being kept are those that need to be kept, quite frankly. And I say the judges sitting there now are probably making those same decisions along the same line. So I don't think, and maybe Mr. Taylor will, but I don't think there would be a significant, but there again, that's something, as far as fact gathering, you go to them and say, let's look at this population you have there right now. How many of these do we think we can move out to home incarceration? There again, that's a fact to take into consideration. So once
right,
again,
and we understand that.
yeah, so, once you get all that tied down, I mean, I just assumed when the decision was made that you had a report that came down and said, here are the numbers we keep it over the years, here are the numbers that you do the other way by CPA or someone who's gone through all the records out there and not had guessed at populations and dollars and it's gonna cost this much to go to this jail, they can only take 25, we'll take 20 over here. I assume that all been done. I don't know, maybe you all have done a lot of that, but
We
I
have done a
assume
lot
there
of
had been
that.
a report from some, as I said, a CPA or someone who's well versed. I'm a math person myself, but not enough to go out and do a project that's overwhelming as this. It would take some money to pay them to do that and some time. But once again, when you're talking about an impact on the potential, well, a little bit of impact on the judicial system, no doubt about that, or the legal system, impact on 40 lives, potential impact on safety in the community, I would think those things might be enough to bear a second look. So I don't mean to keep you time, and I'll be happy to answer more questions.
Thank you,
I don't want to
Judge.
prolong this. I know you all got things to do too.
Appreciate
The only
you.
thing that, one more question I have is what we do in the interim when we have a shortage of $790,000 in the budget. What do we do in that interim when we don't have the money to pay? What do we do? As a county, as a taxpayer, what do we do?
I assume those circumstances have happened, and there again, I've never been in county government. I was on the school board for a period of time. That's a little bit different. But I assume those things, I told someone, I said, we don't have new problems. We just rehash old problems that's been around for years and years. And we can talk to people. There are methods to go out and get that money to cover a shortfall. But I just don't think it just bothers me to let something like that, which is huge, impact an enormous number of people. Someone said, well, the jail people all get jobs. I just find that to be a hard pill to swallow as well, that they're all 35 or 40, whatever it is, go out and find jobs that don't impact them on gas, travel, those kind of things. So with those kind of things at stake, not just the impact on everything else, but those kind of things at stake, I just wish you would just tie down some more details about this and have a specific, exact report that lays out the dollar numbers. So you don't look back at this in a year and a half and go, oh my gosh, Steve Bates was actually right for once, all right? So I don't want you to, because a lot of people have thought I'm not a lot, so that's right. Anything else?
So the-
Thanks, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you all
Steve.
very much.
We
for your time
appreciate your
consideration of this
comments,
matter
okay?
And the work that you do. Thank you.
I'd like to make a comment, that nothing we do up here is irreversible. What we're doing is putting funds into the reserve line, well, simply requires an action of the court to either move or expand. If the professional analysis provides proof we are doing wrong, I'm willing to look at reversing this decision. But let me assure you proof is that we're on the right track, I will stay the course. We're trying to do what's best for the taxpayers. And I'll tell you right now, I'm not having one negative comment about this. Hey, phone's been ringing off the wall. That's not a scientific test or anything. I go along with Sean, that this was not done overnight. I think even the jailer knew that we were talking about this, because we had a meeting where we talked about this in May. And then this Saturday, we met separately and talked about how we can do this. And in our mind, we've got it down good, but time will tell. So, with that being said, I'm gonna let Scott read 1611.
Resolution of the Grant County Fiscal Court requesting the jailer prepare and submit a complete inventory of all furniture, fixtures, equipment, and vehicles, including but not limited to those acquired through the use of commissary funds, and authorizing and directing that Gary L. Edmondson, attorney at law, acting on behalf of the Grant County Fiscal Court, seek action of the Grant Circuit Court to prevent the sale, transfer, or disposition of any property, equipment, or fixtures at the Grant County Detention Center, including but not limited to those acquired using commissary funds, without the express approval granted to an action of the Grant County Fiscal Court. Whereas the Grant County Fiscal Court has, through the passage of Resolution 1610, directed steps be taken to move toward closure of the Grant County Detention Center. And whereas the Grant County Fiscal Court has determined it is essential to the financial strength of the county to have a concise listing of all assets associated with the detention center, including but not limited to furniture, fixtures, equipment, and vehicles. Now therefore be it resolved this date: 1, the Grant County Fiscal Court requests the county jailer prepare and submit a complete inventory of all furniture, fixtures, equipment, and vehicles, including but not limited to those acquired through the use of commissary funds, and submit same to the Grant County Judge Executive on or before 29 July 2016. Authorizes and directs the Gary L. Edmondson, attorney at law, acting on behalf of the Grant County Fiscal Court, seek action of the Grant Circuit Court to prevent the sale, transfer, or disposition of any property, equipment, or fixtures at the Grant County Detention Center, including but not limited to those acquired using commissary funds, without the express approval through action of the Fiscal Court.
Judge Wood, if I may, I have a little bit of a problem with the verbiage there. Seeing as how the state has 2 trucks, 10 meat eaters, a number of pieces of equipment there that belong to the state, I'd like for that to be acknowledged. That
Yes,
if this
we've already looked at that, sir.
Okay,
That's a good point.
Yes, and I would like to say, and I'm not meaning to be antagonistic or anything, but I do have a negative view of what's going on the state's behalf, because I must say, this has nothing to do with the court, nothing to do with the jailer, but your inmates have been a huge asset to the state, to the road department, not only in Grant County, but in the 11 counties that we have. And even though it's a very small gesture, I know that we would like to add another crew, if at all possible. We have to make ends meet on our end, of course, with our budget problems. But that was one of the goals that we had, was to add a 3rd inmate crew and bring it out of Grant County to help service the entire district.
Why was that not offered to Kenton County?
Probably because I'm based in Grant County.
Okay, that's a good reason. I just want to know.
Sir, what is your name?
Richard Gator.
Yes,
G-A-T-O.
Richard Gator.
Thank you. I just wanted to.
Yes, ma'am, right.
Okay. Well, do I have a motion to vote on it? I'll make a motion to vote on it.
I just want to say before seconding the motion, that as we say, all because a resolution is presented doesn't mean that it can be reverted or taken back. It can't be. I don't think it's a bad idea to get an inventory of what's over there, since we do not presently have. We've never been able to get what the bank account number of the commissary fund ever has been. It's like something that you just don't tell the fiscal court for some reason or another. I don't know why that cannot be disclosed. As far